Welcome back to the Kitty Talks podcast. Today we have the second in the Follow Your Highest Excitement Challenge podcast series. So hopefully by now you have signed up to do my challenge, which starts the 9th of September. It's called the Follow Your Highest Excitement Challenge. Now, why should we follow our highest excitement? Well, actually, when we follow our highest excitement to the best of our ability with no expectation on the outcome, we are walking the optimal path in life. And actually, if you lived your life by that saying, you would have an absolutely, truly amazing life. The problem is we haven't been taught how or why we should do this. And if you come and join my challenge, I'm going to show you how and why, and you're going to get practical results in your life. Come do the challenge. So let's have a look at what is holding us back. So when we follow our highest excitement, if you think about your excitement, if you think about it like a compass, when we do the things that we're excited about, we resonate at a higher level. We want to get out of bed in the morning. We want to go to work. We want to go to school. We want to do those things that excite us because they feel pleasurable. They are our passions. They are our purpose. Those are the things that we really, really love. And of course, when we do the things we love, this magical path opens up for us. Now, if you're listening to this and you maybe haven't listened to much of my work, you might be thinking this woman is completely crazy. This follow your bliss stuff, that's just a saying, isn't it? Well, I'm here to tell you that actually it's not a saying. It has real meaning to it. We just haven't been given the instruction manual. And I teach a combination of metaphysics, quantum physics, Dharma, because obviously I've studied the Dharmic text, and all of them say the same thing. When we are true to ourselves, when we do the things that excite us, we essentially become the fullest and highest and best version of ourselves. And that's what we came here to do. That's what all human beings came to do, is to evolve and to grow. And when we evolve and grow, we're in alignment with universal energy force because the world is evolving, the world is growing. Think about nature, how you go through a cyclical nature with seeds and plants and animals. Everybody's evolving, everybody's growing. The problem is we keep ourselves stuck because we haven't been taught to live life by following our highest excitement, going after the things that truly, truly we love. We get stuck and we haven't been taught how to listen to, tune into, or understand our inner sat-nav. And that is where I come in. This challenge comes in and Do Your Dharma comes in. So if you're listening to this podcast, the chances are your life doesn't necessarily look exactly how you want it to. And I can tell you right now that it's you keeping yourself stuck. What I'm about to say applies to, I would say, 99% of the population. We all have limiting beliefs. We all have a comfort zone. We all have beliefs that aren't serving us that we buy into. Now, when you understand the concept of following your highest excitement, you can start to differentiate between what is excitement and what is also blocking your excitement might be the fact that you've got a limiting belief about what you can achieve. So let's think about this. When you do the things you love, you literally are glowing. You vibrate at a higher level. Now, the universe says is whatever we put out in the world is what comes back. So if we're feeling miserable, upset, as chances are that's how the world will look back to us. So when I was depressed chronically for 10 years, I wasn't in a very happy place. And of course, that's what was reflected back to me. But as I learned to listen to my inner sat-nav, as I learned to go after the things that I truly wanted, that I really excited me, that I believed in, that I wanted for myself, not because society told me I should have them, life started to change. But what happens is we get stuck in our limiting beliefs. So you might want to start a business. You might want to move. You might want to be self-employed. But the chances are you are telling yourself probably some not true stories. You're probably telling yourself you're not good enough. You're probably telling yourself you're not academic enough. You're probably telling yourself you're not smart enough. You're probably telling yourself you're not clever enough. Any of these sound familiar? You don't really know exactly what you're selling yet. All this stuff will hold us back. And actually, what we have to do as human beings is learn to differentiate between fear and our excitement. So I'll give you an example. I have a vision of having millions of people all over the world doing their Dharma. Because when we do our Dharma, we're happier, we're healthier, we live longer, and we'll make the world a better place. And I'm a human being. So as much as that is my vision that really, really, truly excites me, I often have a lot of things come up that block me and stop me. So we are just about to do the Follow Your Highest Excitement Challenge. And I am doing some Facebook advertising. And having been burnt in the past by somebody, I should say, not name no names, but someone who wasn't necessarily particularly skilled in that area, I spent some money and it didn't necessarily get me the return I wanted. So I have limiting beliefs and stories around doing Facebook advertising. And I also have limiting beliefs and stories around how successful things can be. But I know that my highest excitement is to go after my dream, which is to have more and more people doing this work because it's life-changing and the ripple effect is massive. So before I recently invested in my most recent campaign, I really had to look at what was fear, what was a limiting belief, and what was my excitement. Now, my excitement is definitely taking this work to more people. That's my highest excitement. So that's what you have to follow. And then I had to look at the limiting beliefs that I had that were holding me back. So the limiting belief was Facebook advertising doesn't work. The limiting belief was that I can't find somebody I trust. All that stuff is little stories. So think about your own life, right? What is it you want to create? What is it you want your life to look like? So you might want to take your business to another level. You might want to serve more people in your business, but you might have a limiting belief that you're not good enough. So it's starting to differentiate and recognize what your limiting beliefs are, what your stories are, and where your comfort zone is. Because as soon as we bump up against our comfort zone, we get scared. We tell ourselves we can't do it. But actually, life becomes very simple when you do your Dharma, when you start to understand the principles that I teach. Because when you understand that you are completely unique and only you has a gift that you can bring to the world, and when you start to lean into those things that come naturally to you, that you're truly gifted in. So in my case, I love to talk. I love to talk to people. I love tell my husband, he's continually like, because I like to speak. And actually, I have to say, I am learning to talk less and talk when it actually adds real value. That's definitely a lesson of mine. But, where I can add real value is on podcasts like this, because I'm in my zone. I'm following my excitement. I'm doing what I love. I get in the zone. I'm downloading. Information is coming through me. So it's very important that we look at our skills and we look at our unique gifts and our unique talents. And Dharma stipulates that when you follow your passions, when you do the things that you're passionate about, when you utilize your unique gifts, and of course, I know that I'm a communication soul. I'm a divine communication soul, which means that for me to be in alignment with my universal energy force, I have to talk, because that's how I can get myself connected, and that's how I can be in alignment and abundant. And when I do something that helps and serves other people, that's me doing my Dharma. And consequently, it feels effortless. It feels like flow, because I'm working in alignment with all the things that God gave me. And I use God loosely because I don't necessarily believe in God. I believe in source energy. I believe in a higher force that works through us for good. So think about your own life. Where are you stuck? Where are you frustrated? If your life doesn't look how you want it to, then I can tell you now, you are stuck. You are frustrated. What we do in our community is we hone your senses and we hone how you start to live your life. You understand the concept of following your highest excitement. So when you come and do the challenge, I'm going to do more work on this. So what we do in the challenge, I don't want to give all the secrets away. There'll be lots of secrets and bonus stuff. But essentially, I teach you this principle that we're talking about on this podcast. The fact that when you follow your highest excitement to the best of your ability with no expectation on the outcome, you are walking the optimal path in life. And that is literally because you're doing things that you love. And if you think of yourself as essentially like a little energy ball, when you're doing what you love, you vibe higher. You give off great energy. Then, of course, you give off great energy, you get great energy back. And of course, when you're doing something you're passionate about, you can keep doing it because it doesn't feel like work. You're in alignment with your skills. You're in alignment with your gifts. You're in alignment with what you're passionate about. You keep going. And that's obviously what you need. So when we follow our highest excitement to the best of our ability with no expectation on the outcome, we are walking the optimal path in life. And my job within the challenge is to actually get you to work out what it is you want in your life. I'd say 9 times out of 10, people don't know what they want. And we're going to talk about this in the challenge. This is something called your default future rather than your created future. If you think of yourself like a little radio, and actually if you haven't worked out what you want in life, then you're not tuned to a specific channel. And what we do in the Follow Your Highest Excitement Challenge and Do Your Dharma is explain all these principles and get these principles to become your guiding light of how you live your life, and you will watch your life transform. I literally had a girl the other day, lovely lady who's just joined Do Your Dharma, and she hasn't even started yet. And if you're on the waiting list, or if you're on Do Your Dharma and you're waiting for the next course to start, I offer you a free coaching call. So Frances and I had this lovely coaching call, and she explained to me that, you know, she knows what her Dharma is. She knows she wants to sort of do life coaching and work with people. But in the meantime, she's also got to pay the bills. And of course, our Dharma unfolds at the rate that we can handle it. So her first priority at the moment is to get a job. But I said to her, why don't you get a job that works for you? And she said, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, why don't you design it? Most people don't design their lives. So she kind of went away and worked out what she wanted. She loves working with children. She loves doing like a coaching element of that. She didn't want to work 5 days a week. She wanted to earn a certain amount of money. And good for her. That's what she told people she wanted. And she started to get interviews based on what she told them that she wanted. How many of us go and look for jobs and say you're in marketing? You might go and look for a marketing manager job, but you don't have the parameters. You want to work within 5 miles of your house. You want to earn X amount of money. You want to work 4 days a week. Frances did this. And what happened? She got offered 2 jobs. And I said to her, make sure you get asked for what you want. And they asked her what she wants, and she told them. And consequently, she got it. And she nearly fell off her chair because she even got a 4-day week, which is pretty much unheard of. So we get you really clear in the Follow Your Highest Excitement Challenge about what it is that you want. And then we look at everything that is holding you back from that. Because all of us think we are not enough. All of us think we're not good enough. All of us think we're not clever enough, we're not smart enough, we're not pretty enough, we're not academic enough. You know, I think one of the things that comes out of the programs that I run is everybody starts to laugh at the fact that we've all got the same limiting beliefs. We have all got the same stories and same negativity running. And actually how you can live the life of your dreams is once you start to resonate higher, you literally can't hold on to the negativity and you can't hold on to the limiting beliefs anymore. And this is why, if you've been on my challenge list, I have been upskilling and educating you around how to keep your vibration high, because all those things that I have suggested on the challenge email sequence is helping you start to shift and resonate at a higher level. So if you're not on the challenge list, make sure you get yourself on the challenge list. I'll do a recap of all the points that I have done. And you can still get them, don't worry. And the reason we do those things, we stop watching TV because it makes us feel like a zombie and it hypnotizes us and it lowers our vibration. We stop listening to the news. Again, it's so depressing. It kind of really knocks you for 6. So once we start to resonate higher and higher and higher, and actually the average person is using 5% of their brain. What does that mean? That means that most people are being run by the unconscious part of their brain. And that unconscious part of their brain was pretty much set up at the ages of 0 to 7. So whatever limiting beliefs you are running and carrying, it probably was absorbed around your family environment. That's why you see wealthy people pretty much usually stay wealthy, because they know that money is always there for them and it always comes. Whereas if you came from a poorer background, you might find it harder. Your story around money is more cemented. So really, we are the only ones holding ourselves back. But of course, we're not necessarily conscious of how we're doing that because, again, we've not been taught how to do that. So have a think about the stories and the limiting beliefs that you are telling yourself about what it is that you want to achieve in your life. Now, when you come and do the challenge, I'm going to start to get you clear, tune up your radio to what it is that you want. I'm going to start to show you how to create your future. And of course, what I want is for you guys to come and do your Dharma with me. I'm not going to hide that because it's a beautiful community of change makers who are not only creating their dream lives, but making a difference in other people's. And now you might think, oh, but I'm not that person. Or, a lot of the time we think we're not good enough even to join a program. If you're someone committed to making a difference in your own life and you'd like to make a difference in others, then this is for you. What I teach essentially is how to get on your spiritual path and how to shift your consciousness. And I've been doing this work for 15 years and I can get you pretty much up to where I am in sort of about 6 months. So whatever you don't know, but that's absolutely fine because what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you what I know, which is going to speed up and fast track your evolution and consequently the results that you get in your life. Like Frances hasn't even started Do Your Dharma and she's got her dream job. And you know, the other thing, the best thing about it, right, is she believes. She believes it's possible. And what we believe, we create. So think about what you believe in life, what you believe is possible for your life, your family's life, your kids' life. And I really urge you, if you've got children, to come and do the Follow Your Highest Excitement Challenge because you have an opportunity to teach your kids the real way the world works. And if they're young, fantastic, because you can imprint them, blueprint them with positive expectations rather than negative beliefs. So what I teach is essential for all human beings, but for children, it's just magical because they don't question it. They understand, they don't, they want to do what they love. They want to be astronauts and they want to be amazing things when they're young. And then it's only when they get to adult years that they're told that's not possible. What if the conversation was, what are your dreams and how can we make that happen? So it's very exciting times on the planet at the moment because more and more people are waking up. More and more people are understanding that they are responsible for their own realities and more people are stepping in. And I don't think you'll find such an accessible community as we've got, really, doing what we do. Where do you have the conversation about creating your dream life? It's not the average standard conversation that is out there. And it's very accessible. So Do Your Dharma is £400, £395. The early bird price is now over. But I still think that's very accessible. I keep it at a good level because I want more and more people to do this work. And then our mastery community is £100 a month, £99 a month. So it's very, very affordable. And the next podcast I'm going to have in this series is 2 of the guys that have been on my course. They did it last time. So they're about 6 months. Is it 6 months or is it longer now? No, it's a year since they did Do Your Dharma. And their lives have transformed, literally their relationships, what is possible, how they feel about themselves, complete transformations. So we're going to talk to 2 of those guys so you can hear what it is that's happened in their lives. So a few takeaways. Are you currently following your highest excitement? Are you doing something you love on a daily basis? Only 13% of the planet are doing what they love on a daily basis, are engaged in what they do on a daily basis. Meaning 87% of the planet are just going through the motions. They're just getting through the day. Once we start to understand that we can shape and create our realities, we get our power back. So if you're not following your highest excitement, I urge you to come and do the challenge. And I also would ask you to have a look at your limiting beliefs. What is it you're telling yourself about what's possible? What action are you taking really towards your dreams? Because what we tend to do is we tend to think it's not even possible, so we don't even start. So accountability works, getting around people who are in the conversation, getting around people who are taking the action really works because it will move you forward. Start to recognize your fear and that it's just a limiting belief. It's just a story and that you don't have to buy into it. You have the choice. And actually, one thing a very wise man taught me was often Fear is just excitement with a negative belief attached. So in my case, I'm really excited about doing this advertising campaign and reaching more people, but there was a bit of me that was holding back. And that was my fear. And that was because I had limiting beliefs around what was possible on Facebook. And when I dug into those, when I looked at them, when I really sort of shone a light on them, I realized that they were dumbfounded, that they weren't true. Most people don't invest in themselves, but yet they will pay for a holiday to get away from their life because they need a rest and they need a break. For me, that is totally backward. Why would you not invest in yourself, create an amazing life that you don't need to take a holiday from? Yet other people do it the other way round. They're working in a shitty job that they hate, they want to change. Instead of what they do is they spend thousands of pounds on a holiday. Why not spend £400, £395 on a course that will change your life and show you how to create your dream life moving forward? So you don't need to take a holiday. You can still take a holiday, don't get me wrong. I'm just about to go off on holiday myself. But think about where you're investing your money. Think about where you're putting your energy. Think about where you're putting your efforts. You might even be avoiding this, and this is your wake-up call. This is your sign. If you're unhappy and you're really pushing it down because you don't want to acknowledge it and you don't want to have to look at changing job because it's scary, or you don't want to have to leave your relationship because it's scary, I'm talking to you. So I want to give you another example, because please don't think that I'm kind of sitting up here preaching. I've had to learn this stuff the hard way. And generally speaking, I've been burnt by it. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. So let me give you an example. I was in a job I hated. I was a partner in a recruitment business. My business partner and I ran an HR and recruitment firm. Deep down, I wanted to be doing coaching, but I had limiting beliefs telling me that I couldn't make a living or a business out of coaching, even though it was what I truly loved and I was truly passionate about, and transformation and personal development. Oh my God, you should see my bookshelf. It's totally a passion of mine. So I stayed in that job. And deep down, I wanted to be doing something different, but I ignored it. I stuffed it down. I pushed it away when it came up. Now, I thought to be successful, I had to have a proper job. That was my thought process. I had to have a proper job, which was to be a partner in a proper business. I could do the personal development stuff on the side, but I needed a proper job. Oh my God, how wrong was I? I wasn't admitting to myself that I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. And then I didn't want to admit, or I didn't want to even think about letting my business partner down, because I wouldn't do that. That's not who I am. I didn't want to let anybody down. And a lot of us are like this, right? But we have to be true to ourselves. We have to honor ourselves and be and become the authentic version of ourselves. And we can't do that if we're covering up that feeling of disconnection, that feeling of pain, that feeling of, oh my God, I don't want to go to work today. So I ask you, are you totally in love with your life, totally in love with what you're doing? Like, I do feel blessed and privileged that that is my life now. I still have challenges. I still, I'm a human being. You're always going to have challenges. It's how we deal with them. But I do feel like all areas of my life are on track. I'm with the man I want to be with. I'm doing the work I truly love. I'm growing an amazing, beautiful community of people that are making a difference. There isn't now an area of my life that's out of integrity. Have a look at your life. Which areas are in or out of integrity? You might be with your dream man, but you might not be doing what you want to be doing in business, or vice versa. So have a look at what needs to change. And then the other thing I'm here to tell you is that it may be scary, but on the other side of that fear, that pain is a bigger part of yourself and a bigger, better life. It is so worth moving through the fear. Before I was in my coaching business full time, I thought about doing it probably 95% of the day and drove myself bonkers because I wasn't. And the actual step of closing down my recruitment business was really hard, but my goodness, it was the best thing that I have ever done. Just got a lady I'm coaching at the moment who's just left her job, and she just said it was the best thing that ever happened, even though she was scared about doing it. She said that a weight was just lifted off her shoulders. She just couldn't believe it. And she'd thought about that for 6 months. So think about the things that you are pushing down, not wanting to look at. Bring them to the surface. When we bring them to the surface and we start to be true to ourselves, magic can happen because there's space. Now, if you're in a job or a relationship that isn't the right one, it's taking up space for the right one. So once we start to free up and let go of the things that are not serving us, it creates space for new things to come in. So why are you keeping yourself stuck? Because you're scared. Because we're all scared. So come and do the Follow Your Highest Excitement Challenge. There's something amazing around having people doing the same thing as you. You'll see their insights. You'll see their stories. You'll see their successes. You'll see their wins. It will give you belief. It will give you momentum. And that is incredibly powerful. Accountability is incredibly powerful. And the guys will tell you in my Dharma Mastery group that that's what I do. I keep them accountable. I keep them in the conversation of creating their dream life. Like, I've got a couple of people in there at the moment that are in jobs they don't like. And it's probably more painful sitting in a job that you don't like rather than getting out. There's 2 of them I'm thinking of now are coming to the realization that they need to leave. And you can see it happening and they're like, oh my God. But it's like ripping off a plaster. Just do it. I always recommend you have something to go to, but essentially, the longer you stay, the more out of alignment that you get with the place. So I really hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Come and do the Follow Your Highest Excitement Challenge. Come and do Dharma. Come and meet some amazing, incredible people. I will help you recognize and move through your fears and create that dream life that is just waiting for you. Please let me know you've listened to this podcast. And please come and follow me on Instagram and come and join our Facebook group. It's Kitty Talks on Facebook. And yes, your dream life is just waiting for you to align to it. But for you to align to it, you have to be true to yourself. Lots of love. This podcast was sponsored by my Do Your Dharma course. Create a life so good that you pinch yourself. This 8-week online course demystifies Dharma and shows you how to tune in to why you're really here. Go to www.kittytalks.com/do your Dharma.